What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Jake. Hope we're all doing well. So let's talk about some baseball, and we'll be saying we're gonna probably do this pretty much every show until the playoffs, because we are in the last couple of weeks or so. Before we do that, we have a mic request. RedBox is going to join us. Haven't heard from him in a couple of weeks, I think. So, RedBox, how's it going?
Good, I got here in time. You're doing game picks?
I am.
I just happened to check Messenger at the right time.
Yeah, there you go.
Had my first presentation of the semester this morning. Got like 3 hours of sleep last night, so
Oof.
I'm vibing right now. But I think I'm awake enough to do this. We'll see.
All right. Well, if you go silent randomly, I will assume you fell asleep.
I had 2 cups of coffee this morning during my constitutional law course, so now I probably won't be able to sleep for a few hours. Anyways, where are we starting? I assume with the Thursday nighter.
Yeah. So we got the Jets again. Yeah, we'll jump to football. Jets against the Patriots. That is tonight at 8:15 on Amazon Prime.
Oh, well, we're lucky up here. We don't have to deal with it on Amazon Prime. But
all right.
This is, honestly, this game could go either way. Either team could absolutely blow the other out of the water, or it could be a really close game, and I wouldn't be surprised. The Patriots have looked not bad.
Yeah, they've looked better. They've actually looked better than I thought they would.
Yeah. And the Jets have 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers playing about as well as you could expect from a 40-year-old. I certainly hasn't been playing terrible. I think the Jets are at home, and I think this little run of success that New England has right now, it's going to have to come to an end. I think the Jets pull this one out. I think it will be close, but again, literally anything could happen in this game, and I would not be shocked.
Yeah. As you can see, people watching, I have my Jets hat on today. I'm gonna also take the Jets. I think it'll be a close game, probably a lower scoring game. The Patriots obviously are a team that wins with by
video on these spaces, Jake.
I know. Yeah, as soon as I said, I was like, RedBox cannot see me. But I wish there was. I wish there was this video on this thing. I'm gonna take with Jets. I think it'll be a closer game. Yeah, we got probably a lower scoring game. Yeah, Patriots are very good defensively. Jets are good defensively. I don't think they're as good defensively as they were last year and the year before. I still think they have a good defense for sure. So, I think they take it. Patriots got a lot of injuries on that offensive line. I know the Jets front is obviously a little bit lacking this year because Hassan Reddick is in La La Land. Now they lose Jermaine Johnson. So, but I still think they have enough bodies up there where they'll be able to get pressure on Jacoby Brissett and make him make some mistakes. So I'll take the Jets to win that game that I will, of course, be watching tonight on my couch. I'm a combination of very excited and really just not sure what's about to happen because it could go really well or really poorly. So that's that. We got the Giants and Browns at 1 o'clock. RedBox, who you got in that game? The Giants and the Browns.
God.
That's certainly, I guess, a mid-off, as I would call it.
I mean, I did terrible last week on my picks. Like, everyone was just upsetting everybody. But I don't think that can happen in this one. I think, the Giants are just so bad.
They're terrible.
Last year they didn't look terrible, but I don't think Daniel Jones is going to do it for him.
He's not good, no.
I think this is a runaway victory for the Browns, and I plan to stay far away from this game.
Yeah, I'm going to take Cleveland as well. Look, Deshaun Watson's has not looked great, really since he got to Cleveland. He hasn't looked good. But Browns are very good defensively. That Giants offense is just yikes. That line is a little... I
mean, I think he's probably going to get suspended soon anyways.
Yeah. It's... Which honestly,
we're going to see someone new.
Yeah, I think Jameis Winston sooner rather than later will be the quarterback for the Browns. On top of the fact that Watson is not playing well at all right now. When he gets suspended, at that point you got to kick him out of the league, right? I don't know how you can keep this guy in the league.
You have to.
You gotta.
I like, even if they don't suspend him, I think he should be benched anyways for his play.
Exactly, yeah. He's been terrible. Week 1, he was horrid.
He's done. I'll like completely put that aside for a moment. He's just been playing like.
No, yeah, he's been horrible. Like last week, he played a little bit better, but also, the guy throwing, 186 yards on, 30-plus pass attempts is not good. He just, they ran the football and they only gave up 13 points. He had one little rushing touchdown and they got a bunch of field goals. Like, yeah, he's not playing well, but that Giants team is very bad. So I think Cleveland squeaks by in a messy game. Next one up is Bears and the Colts. Bears coming at 1-1, Colts at 0-2.
The Bears, the Colts, everyone was saying they were going to beat the Jordan Loveless Packers last week. Anthony
Didn't happen.
Didn't look half bad, but he
made some mistakes for sure.
Picks. And I have no confidence in this Bears offense.
It looks horrid.
If they win, it's going to be their defense that wins the game. It's not going to be their offense. I have been on the Caleb Williams hate train for...
Oh, me and you both.
Not because of all the stupid reasons people are hating on him for. I just don't think he's an NFL-level quarterback.
Yeah, he's very, very, very overhyped.
And I think that first overall pick, there was way better quarterbacks in the draft. It was all hype. And
yeah.
I think the Bears, what they had going last year actually wasn't half bad.
They finished pretty well last year, yeah.
They should have kept with that.
Fields, yeah, they should have. I would have kept Fields and given them one more year with this offense.
Exactly. As a Packers fan, I love that the Bears downgraded. I think that what they had going with Fields was pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
I think the Colts pull this one out, but I think the Bears' defense does all they can to attempt to shut them down.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bears, not necessarily because I believe in Caleb Williams, because I don't, but that Bears defense is really, really good. Colts are not going to have to force Buckner for this game. He just went on injured reserve. That Bears offensive line is very, very concerning. Caleb was running for his life. It seemed like every single time he dropped back to pass in week 2 against Houston, but I think Indianapolis' pass rush is going to be a lot weaker without DeForest Buckner. So I'll say the Bears squeak by, and also the Colts defense isn't great, especially they never really had a great secondary head going into the year, and they haven't stopped the run that well either this year.
We lit them up last week.
Yeah, freaking, all you had to do last week was make Malik Willis beat you. And they couldn't even do that. So not a lot of confidence. So I think the Bears squeak by, but I'm not expecting Caleb Williams to, just flip a switch. But I think maybe not because of him. I think the Bears will win the game. I think the Colts are going to definitely regress because Anthony Richardson is still very raw and they have some injuries and they're still there. I think next year will be their year though for the Colts. But moving forward, we finally get into some solid games now. Houston Texans at the Minnesota Vikings also at 1 o'clock.
I did not have the Vikings pulling that one.
I did not either. Yeah, that was a big upset for them last week.
That was a very impressive win. I will concede. Houston against the Bears.
Against the Vikings.
That was a little close for comfort. However, I think Houston's just gotta, as long as C.J. Stroud can consistently find receivers to throw to. I mean, Minnesota, obviously, Justin Jefferson's just going to be blowing through everybody.
Oh, yeah.
It's in Minnesota. I'm taking Houston, but this is probably more of an anti-Vikings pick than anything. I think this one, you could make a very good argument the Vikings will end up pulling this one out. So I took Houston in my pool. I'm going to stick with it, but there's definitely some bias involved in that pick. I think we're probably going to disagree on this one.
I don't think so. I'm picking the Texans. The Texans look really, really good so far. That team, top to bottom, is loaded. I think they beat the Vikings. The Vikings have looked better than I thought. You know, Sam Darnold's doing what he always does. He starts off he always gets off to some good starts. Then things kind of fall off from there. But I think this will be a closer game than what when you first looked at the schedule when it came out and you saw Sam Darnold's Vikings against the second team, like, oh, this is not gonna be close. It should be closer than what we originally thought. Vikings look good so far, but I am gonna take the Houston Texans as well. I think to get this done.
It's going to come down to a final possession for sure.
It's very possible. This should be a closer game. I think this will be a good game.
I don't think there's much denying that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take the Houston Texans. Next up is Philadelphia Eagles against the New Orleans Saints.
Okay. Hear me out here.
Okay.
The Eagles on Monday blew it.
Yes, complete choke job.
On that final drive, they had that game.
They have that game. That was a bad game to not win.
All they had to do was stop Kirk Cousins, which normally on Monday night
shouldn't be too hard.
But the Saints absolutely blew up the Cowboys on Sunday.
They're off to a hot start.
They are. I mean, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. They played the Panthers in their first game.
I'm not sure if we're counting that game. They are not a real football team right now.
I think we all had them winning that.
Yeah.
But I don't think we all have them beating the Eagles. However, I do.
Oh, okay.
I think this is going to be a very exciting game. And people are sleeping on the Saints. I've been sleeping on the Saints the past.
Oh, absolutely. I think everyone has.
But I think this team just might be legit, and if they can prove themselves against, another big choke artist team in the league, in the Eagles. I mean, last Monday night we got two of them playing each other, which maybe was why they won.
Right.
I don't think it's totally out of the realm of possibility, and I picked the Saints in my pool, mainly just because I'm so far behind that I need some outliers. Outliers to go my way so I can catch up. I think if I was in a better spot, I wouldn't be doing this, but I went 4-12 last week or something. It was horrendous. So, give me the Saints.
I'm gonna take the Eagles. Look,
I thought so.
Philly, look, they completely threw that game out the window. That was the decision making at the end was as bad as it gets against the Atlanta Falcons, and the Saints look phenomenal. You know, I guess they took care of business against Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers. That's what I'll call it. And they absolutely destroyed the Cowboys. The Cowboys can't. They have trouble beating really good teams, but going in, we didn't think the Saints were all that great. So, and they've only punted once. Obviously, Derek Carr looked really good. Alvin Kamara has played great. They've looked good defensively. But I still don't buy.
I expected Alvin Kamara not to be good this season. I think it was just everybody else.
Yeah, exactly, everybody else. I'm still not buying it. I'll say this. If the Saints win this game, I will definitely start buying into the Saints. I'll be like, you know what? This team might be a lot better than people thought. For now, I'm still not buying it. You beat up on the Carolina Panthers. Cool. You beat the Dallas Cowboys. Okay. Thank you for doing so, but still, okay. So I will take the Eagles, but if the Saints win this game, we might have to start having a conversation. Everyone talks about the NFC. You got San Francisco, we got Detroit. Who else could the Saints be that third team? And at that point, if they win this game, we might just start talking about them as that team. So I'll take Philly. I'm gonna take Philly in this game.
I'm not ready to go there yet, but yeah. They're not the third team. There's still probably a few I'd put above them, but
oh, for sure.
They're legit. I think. I don't think they're a throwaway like we all thought they were going to be. People were sleeping on Derek Carr at the start of the season, saying, "Oh, he ain't gonna do shit. He's not gonna do anything for the team." And I think that's a bunch of nonsense.
But yeah, I will take the Eagles. Next game, Chargers at the Steelers.
The big question in this game is the Steelers' defense, which we'll see. I have the Steelers at home this one. I won't be watching this one very closely. I'm not very into this one. I have the Steelers at home, though, but who knows? This one, a lot of people are going the Chargers this week, so.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Chargers. Pittsburgh is weird. There's always a couple of games that you look, you're just like, yeah, they're not going to win that game. And Mike Tomlin just finds some really weird way to win it. And there's a couple of games like, okay, they're on the roll, they'll grab us one, and then they lose, and you're just like, they're a very confusing team. I'm going to take the Chargers, though. They look really good. They look completely different under Jim Harbaugh. They look reborn. Jesse Minter has turned my defense around. Justin Herbert looks much more energized. I'm going to take the Chargers, but that should be a close game. Pittsburgh,
Mike Tomlin's the best coach in the NFL.
He just might be. Obviously he hasn't, had a whole lot of playoff success in a while, but he drags these not very good teams every year pretty much to the playoffs. So, but
that's the problem. He just doesn't have the team behind him. If he was coaching the Eagles or the Texans or the Niners right now, we'd be looking at a 14-3, 15-2 or more season, I think. He doesn't have the team, and that's his problem. It's not him.
Yeah, I'll take the Chargers on that one. Next game is Broncos at the Buccaneers at 1 o'clock.
Is anyone picking the Broncos to win anything?
I hope not.
Are they the second worst team in the NFL?
I would probably take actually, I don't know. I'd probably say the Giants are worse right now. But Denver is definitely the worst team in the AFC, and I don't really think it's particularly close.
Yeah, I just don't see a path for Denver to win this one. I think that the Broncos, I just think they've been making a whole bunch of bad decisions.
I know.
Not trying to develop.
How George Payton, the GM, has sold the job is very confusing. He has just been horrible.
What are you rebuilding right now?
Yeah, I don't know what they're trying to do over there.
On the contrary, the Buccaneers.
They look good so far.
Looked good, and I was sleeping on them at the start of the season, too. Ever since they lost Brady, I was kind of iffy with them, but they've been okay. They're at home. I'm going to take the Bucs. I say this one is fairly one-sided, even.
Yeah, I'm taking Tampa. I don't think this game will be all that close either. Denver looked really bad. Bo Nix has, 4 receptions his first 2 games. Honestly, he played a lot of college football. This team is just so bad. They can't stop the run. I mean, the Bucs don't run the ball well anyway, but this team isn't that good. Obviously, Tampa looks really good. Baker Mayfield's played well. I will take the Bucs in this one.
Yeah, Baker's been out of his mind.
Yeah, he's played very well. He's better than Deshaun Watson, who Cleveland replaced him with. That's for sure.
Yeah, when he got drafted, everyone was like, for the first few years, he wasn't really doing anything. I think now he's finally starting to come into form.
Absolutely.
So we'll see, though.
Yeah, all right. The next one is RedBox, your Green Bay Packers at the Tennessee Titans.
So last week, my Packers over the Colts was a totally, not a totally fan pick, but no Jordan Malik Willis hadn't played in.
Yeah. By the way, RedBox, let me see. I'm not sure if you've heard about this. I heard there's a shot that Love might play. I'm not sure if you've heard anything differently.
There's a what?
I read earlier today that there's a shot that Love might actually play in the game. It looks like it's more unlikely than likely, but I heard he could possibly play.
I think if he was on another team, maybe.
Yeah.
The Packers, see, you got to understand how the Packers medical staff and coaching staff works. They don't rush players back in from injury ever. It's not something we do. I think and I haven't seen those reports, but I think even if those reports are circulating, I think it's incredibly unlikely. I think this team needs Jordan Love to
absolutely
be full health, so he doesn't go out and injure himself again, and then he's out for another 4, 6, 8 weeks or the season. So I think him playing I'd give it a less than 5% chance, just because of the management. Again, we're not like the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, they do not handle injuries well at all. No.
We don't rush players who just got concussions or other injuries back out to playing 1-2 weeks later if we don't have to. And I really don't think we do. I think Malik Willis, I mean, he wasn't out of this world, but he's a capable backup quarterback, which I was a little nervous about. And I genuinely do think we will win this game against the Titans. I genuinely do think we can do this. We'll see, though. I don't know. I think the Packers win this. We can't throw as many picks as we did last week.
Yeah, I'm also going to take Green Bay. Will Levis has looked really bad. I was not high on him coming out. That really hasn't changed. He's had some really boneheaded mistakes. And if he changes those, that obviously that could help the Titans out. But until he does, I just don't believe in him. So I'm also going to take the Packers. The Packers defense looks a little bit better. Obviously under Joe Barry, they obviously had a lot of issues. He's obviously not there anymore. Although the run defense hasn't looked great so far this year, which is obviously the whole thing. They just couldn't stop the run the last couple of years. But I'm going to take the Packers. This is also like sort of a revenge game for Malik Willis. I'm sure it's on his mind at the Titans. I mean, look, he didn't play well for the Titans, obviously. But, I'm sure there's a little something there. It's like, all right, you throw me out there for 4 games, and then, you bench me for, Ryan Tannehill comes back, and then when he gets hurt again, you bench me for Josh Dobbs with the season on the line, and then you draft my replacement, and then you just ship me off to Green Bay, Wisconsin. So this could be a little bit of a revenge game for him. I'm sure that's on his mind. Look, he's obviously not a good quarterback. But look, last week he didn't lose the Packers the game, and that's what he has to do. He's got a really good running back in Josh Jacobs. He's got a really good core of receivers. This is a very good football team. If he just doesn't lose them the game, I think the Packers will win the game.
So that's probably going to be enough.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't just, as long as he's not just absolutely horrible. Like, if he can just, do what he did last week, if you can limit his pass attempts, don't do it if he doesn't do anything crazy. I think that'll be enough to win this game. Tennessee is not that good, and I think he can do that. So I'll take the Packers in this one.
Passing the Tennessee defense touchdowns. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if he doesn't have any turnovers, which is very possible, he didn't have one last week. I think I could see him, doing what he did last week, and I think that'll be enough to win the game. I'll say that. But
we're moving into the 4:00 game.
Yes, the now Andy Dalton led Carolina Panthers at the Las Vegas Raiders.
About damn time. You know what? This Bryce Young, they gave him more chances than any other rookie quarterback would have ever had. They really put their future all on Bryce Young.
Oh, yeah.
I still think they are putting their future on Bryce Young. I think they're just going to finally bench him and try and develop him a little bit. Andy Dalton, right now, is an upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not ready to say Bryce Young doesn't have a future in the NFL. I think they threw him in too soon, though. I think he should have sat the first year. He was overhyped. The pressure was very great on him. I don't think he's a Bo Nix, where there's just no hope.
Damn.
I think I still can't take this Panthers team to win anything.
No.
I can't do it. I cannot, in good conscience, tell someone pick the Panthers this week. They'd have to be playing the Denver Broncos or New York Giants.
And they're playing the Giants in Germany in November.
Oh God! At least they gave the Germans that game.
Yeah, that's too. They're playing the Giants in a couple months.
At least they're not giving them like top level matchups, because those are at 9 in the morning. No one's awake for them. Well, I am, but yeah, no, give me the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Raiders as well. Just is Amy Dalton better than Bryce Young right now? Yeah, I guess. It doesn't get much worse than Bryce Young right now. But still, this team absolutely sucks. Their running back of the draft this year is still on the pup list. The weapons aren't anything special. That defense is really bad. Gardner Minshew's actually looked pretty good so far. So, we'll kind of look a little bit better, maybe, I guess. But I don't think they win the game. RedBox, you put it perfectly. I cannot look somebody in the eye and be like, you should have comments in the Panthers. Like, I can't do it. Give me the Las Vegas Raiders. Next game up is Miami Dolphins with Skylar Thompson, because Tua is on the injured reserve, so he'll be out at least 4 games, and I'm hoping that he takes the advice from them on the rounds and does what's best for his career and for his life. And at the Seattle Seahawks.
Well, I mean, we almost saw Tua die on the field on Sunday.
Yeah, he took a tough hit.
I was watching Red Zone when that happened, and they showed it. Yeah, no, they've got to stop this. Look, Seattle is a minus 227 favorite, which I think is a little bit extreme. I don't totally hate the rest of the Dolphins offense.
Right.
I think the Dolphins still find a way to pull this one out. Skylar Thompson, not a bad quarterback at all. I think
really?
He's quite capable, actually. Obviously, we haven't seen too much of him yet. I'm going to take the Dolphins just because I haven't seen it from the Seahawks yet. I don't really know what they're doing. I don't know if they really know what they're doing, to be honest. But, yeah, give me the Dolphins still.
I'm going to take Seattle. I don't have any comments on Skylar Thompson whatsoever. I think the guy is absolutely horrible. Obviously, he's got Tyreek Hill. He's got Jalen Wild. That's going to help. But their running backs are banged up. Raheem Mostert is hurt, though they do still have Devon Achane, which will definitely help. Seattle's looked pretty good so far. Nothing to jump at yet. We're still very early on, but I don't see Skylar Thompson going into Seattle and even doing enough to win the game, to not lose in the game. So I'm gonna take Seattle now, and I'll take the Seahawks at home in that game. 425 slot we're in now. Lions at the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, that Detroit last week, man. That was something else.
Tough loss to Tampa.
That one. They showed it on Red Zone too. Detroit and Tampa Bay, man, that was rough. No one saw that coming. But I think this is a revenge game for the Lions. They lost at home. Their home opener.
Yeah.
That is, even in the world of the Lions, that is crazy.
Yeah.
So I would say Cardinals are good, but the Lions need this game because they are contending for the division. This is a 3-man race this year. The Bears are still on the outside looking in, and they can't see very well at the moment. They need this game, I think. If they want to contend for the division, they've got to win this.
Yeah, this is definitely a game that you want to win, and I think they will get the job done. Arizona definitely is a better team than they were last year, But I'm going to take the Detroit Lions. Their secondary on paper should definitely be improved. Jared Goff has struggled, but also they got to run the ball a little more. They have a really good running back too. Goff threw the ball 55 times last week. That's just not a formula for winning. It's not how the Lions win football games.
Brown, is he still injured?
Who?
Amon-Ra St. Brown?
No, he's fine. He's been healthy. He's fine. Yeah, he had a big game last week. I don't see why he wouldn't play. So I think he plays.
I thought there was some talk after the game that something might happen.
I think he might have gotten nicked up. They're a little bit. I think they may have had him. He may have been limited in practice or something. But I do think he will play. So I'll take the Lions.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Next game. Baltimore Ravens at the Dallas Cowboys. Ravens coming in at 0-2.
Why are the odds on this one basically even? Like, I get it, the Ravens have had a rough start to the season, but the Cowboys just got absolutely destroyed by the Saints at home.
Yeah.
No. Lamar Jackson has not looked like Lamar Jackson, but he's known for kind of starting not so well also. This is nothing new. I'm not particularly worried about the Ravens. I mean, I don't think they're making a Super Bowl run this year either.
No.
But I'm not particularly worried about them. I think this game should be actually a fairly straightforward win for them. Yeah, give me the Ravens. This Cowboys team is not it, man.
Yeah, I'm also taking Baltimore. Blowing a 10-point lead to the Raiders in the fourth quarter last week is not a good look. But the week before, I mean, you played the Chiefs. You lost by a touchdown. You lost, Isaiah Likely's toe was out of bounds at the end of the game. It's just,
Right now, you're playing a team with no defense.
Yeah, and Dallas just gave up 40 for the Derek Carr and the Saints. So I'm taking the Ravens as well, but they should take care of business in this game. Dallas, they just can't. Every year they win a couple of games against bad teams, and then once they play the good teams, it goes downhill.
He should just be able to do what he's best at, and that's run.
Yeah.
This week, with no issues.
Absolutely. And 425 as well. 49ers at the Rams in a divisional game.
Ooh, yeah. This one, I mean, yeah, Niners lost last week to the Vikings, but the Rams have looked absolutely terrible.
And now they're hurt.
They're beat up. Yeah, I don't think there's much more to say about this one. Brock Purdy is still him, despite last week. That game wasn't his fault. Give me the Niners by a mile.
Yeah, I'm taking the 49ers as well. The Rams, they don't have your top two receivers. That team is, honestly, they're showing their age. That team is older. That team is now battling injuries. And now you go up against the 49ers, who obviously don't have Christian McCaffrey. They're not going to have Deebo Samuel most likely, but Jordan Mason has filled in very nicely for Christian McCaffrey. I think the 49ers will win this game. And then Sunday Night Football will be the Kansas City Chiefs at the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, you know what? This Atlanta team did not look bad last week.
Kirk looked much better.
He did. I think getting him out of Minnesota was great.
Yeah.
I think he needed a change in scenery, needed a new team. For the amount of time he's got left in the league anyway. I think he's going to do a lot better in Atlanta. 2 night games in a row for them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kirk Cousins' record in night games is not great. But again, new team, new coach, new receivers. I'm still going to take the Chiefs. And I think most people will take the Chiefs. But if someone's looking to make a bit of money off an upset pick, maybe the Falcons is it.
It's possible, but I'm also going to take the Chiefs. This should be a pretty good game. Atlanta looked much better last week. I'll take the Chiefs to get it done. Kirk, he's gotten better in prime time. If you look at it, he's gotten better. He's not nearly as bad as when he was a little bit younger, but he's still not, the guy. He's far from the first guy I'd want in a big primetime game. So I'll take the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. And then Monday Night Football, we have 2 games. We have a Monday night doubleheader.
I hate when they do this.
It's not a bad idea, but also, I can't watch them both at the same time, which is annoying because they start so close to each other. First one's at 7:30 on ESPN. Jacksonville Jaguars at the Buffalo Bills.
It's the battle of Josh Allen.
Yeah.
What is going on with the Jags this week? They just cannot perform this year.
Nope.
They just cannot perform down the stretch.
Can't finish.
And I am actually one of the people who's been more rough on the Bills this season, but they've been proving me wrong so far.
They've looked good so far.
So, Bills are at home. Jags are struggling to play for 60 minutes. I am going to go with the Bills.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bills as well. Josh Allen has been blowing out. They've been running football well. The secondary is a little concerning to me, but Trevor Lawrence, I said it last week, I think it was actually might have been on Monday, actually. Whenever I said it, Tuesday, whatever day it was, we got to have a conversation with him at some point. He has been mediocre for most of his career, if I'm being honest. He's not been playing good football really since the middle of last year. So.
Wait, did we just jump games already?
Oh no, we're doing Jaguars Bills, and by the way, I'm waving to Ashton right now. For those of you who watch the show, you know who he is, obviously. But yeah, the Bills playing with Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence, he hasn't played more than mediocre football in since the beginning of last year. So I'm gonna take the Bills. They should win this game. And then the nightcap at 8:15 on ABC is the Washington Commanders at the Cincinnati Bengals.
I don't even know why you would want to watch this. I would be quite content just watching Bills and Jaguars. This isn't even going to be close. Do I even have to explain this pick?
Depends who you're picking.
Well, the Bengals.
Okay, then yeah, you don't have to explain now. If it's the Commanders, I would have wanted an explanation. But I'm with you. I'm taking the Bengals. Although Jane Daniels has looked pretty good. He's not in the greatest of situations over there. That's just a very bad organization. The field is falling apart. They need a new field yesterday or 2 years ago at this point. But I'll pick the Bengals. They looked much better last week and they lost to the Chiefs, so they got a bit of an unlucky penalty at the end. That was the reason they lost. I don't think this will be that close, honestly. The Bengals should take care of business against the Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
All right, so RedBox, I'm gonna do my college football game. But before I do that, what are your thoughts on the Boston Red Sox this season? I know they're kind of hanging by a cliff in the wild card race.
The Red Sox are beyond disappointing this season. We eked out a win over the Rays last night, but I think it's too little too late.
They're 4 back right now.
Another week left in the season.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got another game against them tonight. I probably won't watch, but and then we got a big series. Where are we playing this weekend? Who are we playing this weekend?
Let me see if I can take a look. They are playing. Let's see. They get the Rays, and then they get. I think they get Minnesota.
Minnesota, yeah, that's what I thought. Ooh.
Who hasn't been playing great either. The Twins.
Minnesota at home. Yeah, I think here's the problem. We have one of the best development systems in Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get to the majors and we sell them all off.
Yeah, not a formula for winning at all.
No. I've been saying this for years. I think Cora needs to go. I think
Really?
the cheating scandal was enough. But I think he's a bad manager.
Really? Wow.
With another manager, this team would be a playoff team right now. I believe that. With another manager and maybe a front office that was willing to spend a little bit more money on their success. I mean, not paying Mookie Betts, and then
that was tough.
He got shipped off to the super team in LA. I don't know. I have no confidence in this team. And that's the unfortunate part. I have no confidence in this team. If we manage to squeak into the playoffs, I will be... I don't think we'll go far.
All right, yeah, that's about what I figured you were going to say. But now I'm going to talk some college football. RedBox, you're welcome to hang out and join me. I'm going to do game picks for college football as well.
All right.
All right, so the first game is actually tomorrow night. Number 24, Illinois against number 22, Nebraska.
This one's a fun one.
Yeah.
I got Nebraska winning this one, but they could have looked a little bit better to start the season, to be honest. And I believe, no, Nebraska's at home.
Yeah.
It's Friday night. I love these Friday night games.
Oh yeah.
I love college football on a Friday night, and there's not too much else on, I believe, either. So I might actually watch this. But yeah, give me Nebraska by the close game.
Yeah, I'm also taking Nebraska. They've played pretty well so far. You know, they've done. You know, I don't think they're a contender by any means, but they're 3-0. You know, you beat up on Colorado 2 weeks ago. I mean, Colorado isn't good, but they just get a lot of attention obviously because of the Sanders. But Dylan Raiola, I mean, he literally thinks he's Patrick Mahomes, like dresses like him, does the pregame thing like him. He's played pretty well so far. I think Nebraska scoots by Illinois. Number 3, Ohio State is playing Marshall. I assume we both have Ohio State.
Yeah. At home to Marshall doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah. Number 21, Clemson is playing NC State.
See, this is where I think an upset might be in store. This might be more a desperation pick again than anything, because everyone's going to pick Clemson at home to beat NC State. But I think NC State has not been terrible this year. I think they can do this. Will they is another question, but I'm giving it to NC State just for upset's sake.
All right, I'm gonna take Clemson. If NC State wins this game, that just epitomizes everything wrong with the Clemson football program, and I wouldn't be horribly surprised, but I'll take Clemson in this game. This is about as good of a team as I see them beating, but I'll take Clemson in this game. And the next game is number 20 Iowa State against Arkansas State.
Yeah, Iowa State for sure in this one.
Yeah, they'll definitely win that game. I got Iowa State. Number 10, Penn State against Kent State.
Yeah, I don't think there's much of a question here.
Yeah. Give me the Nittany Lions. Now we got a good game at 3:30 on CBS. Number 11 USC against number 18 Michigan.
The only reason I'm going with Michigan, who quite frankly, I don't even know if they should be in the top 25 right now. The only reason I'm going with Michigan is because they are at home. If this was at USC, I'd be going with USC, but I think Michigan, I mean, they got absolutely blown up by Texas.
Yeah.
That was painful to watch. I picked them in that game. So not truly, I didn't truly understand how much this team has changed in a season.
Yeah.
Give me Michigan, but only because they're at home. I think USC absolutely has a shot at this one.
This should be a very good game. I'm also going to take Michigan. You know, they're very tough to beat. You know, at home at the big house. Look, this is the same team. They got just destroyed by Texas. That being the Texas is the number one team in the country right now. I don't trust Lincoln Riley to win the big game any further than I can throw him. So I'm going to take the Wolverines to win that game. All right, next game is UCLA against number 16 LSU.
You know what? This might be a fun game, actually.
Yeah.
I'm going to take LSU to win this. I picked them in the pool this week. But yeah, this one will be fun. I might have to tune into this one. Normally Saturday afternoon, I kind of channel surf as the games are exciting. Well, when you get all of them, you watch what's exciting, right? So.
Oh yeah.
You don't stick too long on the main ones because they're on like ESPN or something. Like I don't know why they were showing the Florida game last weekend. that confused me. I'm not sure what that was all about. Two unranked teams that, quite frankly, aren't good. It was the name, which ESPN is notorious for doing in all sorts of sports. They do it in the NBA with the LeBron. They do it in college football with Florida. They would do it in the MLB if they could. They're kind of handicapped in that regard. I think this is going to be a fun game. But I don't think UCLA will be able to pull it out.
Yeah, I'm also going to take LSU in that game. Miami, Ohio against number 17 Notre Dame.
I like this Irish team. Miami, Ohio, they haven't been too bad this season. You know what? They've had a good start. Notre Dame has had a bit of a shaky start, so I understand why they're ranked number 17. Many people had them higher and probably still do have them higher, but I'm giving the Irish this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Notre Dame, who I'm not sold on. Yeah, that was a tough loss to Northern Illinois 2 weeks ago, but give me Notre Dame. The talent will carry them ahead in this game. Georgia Tech against number 19 Louisville.
I initially picked Louisville in this one.
Mm-hmm.
I initially picked Louisville, and then I changed it to Georgia Tech, and I might change it back. I'm going back and forth on this game. We've seen Georgia Tech be competitive this season. Will that continue? I don't know. But right now, I'm saying Georgia Tech, but don't hold me to it, and that might change.
Yeah, I'm going to take Louisville, but this should be a close game. Georgia Tech has looked good this season. They're off to a good start. Obviously, they beat Florida State in the first in their first game. So, but I'll take Louisville. That should be a close game. Next game is Buffalo against number 23 Northern Illinois.
I was wondering why this game was showing up on my pool this week. I was so confused. I'm like, hold on, is one of these teams in the top 25?
Northern Illinois had snuck in, yeah.
When I clicked on it too, when I clicked on both the teams, it showed both of them as unranked. So I was so confused this afternoon when I was filling out my picks. I don't know with this one. Northern Illinois being in the top 25, I might have to change my pick and say I'm going to go with Northern Illinois.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with Northern Illinois. They've played very well so far. I'll take them. Now we got a good game at 4 o'clock on Fox. Number 12, Utah against number 14, Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State's been a fun team to watch this season. I've managed to catch the end of all their games so far. And they've been a fun team to watch this season. I'm going to give the edge to the Cowboys, just slightly.
You know what? I'm going to go with Oklahoma State as well. In a small upset, I will go with Oklahoma State. I think Utah is a very good team, but OK State's looked really good. So I'll pick the Cowboys in a sweat upset. You have Vanderbilt against number 7 Missouri.
Yeah, I think Missouri wins this one fairly easily.
Same here. Number 8 Miami against South Florida.
Yeah, that's another easy. Miami, Florida, we should say, is going to win this one.
Yeah, I'll take the U. All right, 7:30, the ABC game. Number 8 Tennessee against number 15 Oklahoma.
Now this is where I'm going with an upset.
Really?
I don't think Oklahoma State and Utah. I don't think taking Oklahoma State is an upset, to be honest. I think that, if anything, I think that's probably the one everyone's going with. But this Oklahoma team, I'm liking them. I'm liking them this year. They're at home. They've looked good. I mean, they've had a pretty weak schedule also thus far, to be fair. But I'm taking them over Tennessee. I think it's going to be close, but I'm taking them over Tennessee under the lights.
I'm going to take Tennessee. Both of the teams are kind of in the same boat where they've both looked really good, but both haven't really played anybody that good either. But Tennessee is averaging 63 points a game. This is obviously the best team that they're going to play by far. Oklahoma, obviously, the same thing. Oklahoma also, I mean, now they're in the SEC, but they played in the Big 12 for all those years. No one in the conference they were always in played any defense. So I'll take the Volunteers in that one. Bowling Green against number 25 Texas A&M.
You know, people like Bowling Green. I don't know. I don't think they win this one, but they look terrible. Give me A&M.
Yeah.
But Bowling Green can score some points in this one, I think.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Georgia Southern against number 5 Ole Miss.
Oh my God, Ole Miss is number 5. That's insane. Yeah, give me Ole Miss. Georgia Southern's an absolute non-issue.
Yeah. We got 2 games left, and both of them are fairly obvious. Or one's very obvious. The other one be probably a little bit closer. UL Monroe against Texas.
Yeah.
Arch Manning is playing, I believe. Yeah, that will be a blowout. I don't care who's the quarterback. And then to finish off the 10:30 game, number 13 Kansas State against BYU.
Yeah, this one I'm taking Kansas State. This one might be good if you're planning to stay up. No UFC on Saturday night. If you're planning to stay up and watch this one, you might not be disappointed.
Yeah, I agree. I'm taking Kansas State as well. But all right, that's all we're going to cover for today. RedBox, thank you so much for joining me. As always, you're welcome anytime.
I saw you were doing this. I was actually checking to see if Neil had sent me anything before.
Right, yeah.
Basketball. Are you doing that again this season?
The what?
Basketball. Fantasy basketball.
Oh, that I'm not sure about, actually.
Because I've got 2, maybe 3 of my friends who I think are going to join the league this year.
Oh, okay.
Spots. Well, 2 for sure, but third one's up in the air a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, no, you should play. I was just checking to see if Neil sent me anything about that, and I saw #CCC, and you had posted the space in there. So I'm like, oh, you know what? I'll come on and keep myself awake for.
and thank you for doing so, RedBox. You're welcome anytime. Until next time, so long. Have a great day.